Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. Your stories from your hometown on your community media, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban, thanking you for joining us as you do each and every day during your work week on Comcast Channel 15 and on AT&T Channel 99. In addition, you can always find us on the web on CivicCenterTV.com on our Watch Live page or on demand on our homepage and on-demand pages as well each and every day. Follow along with us all throughout your week as well on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, as well as on YouTube where you can find us live and find us on demand as well on youtube.com/Civic Center TV. In addition, you can always take us on the road with you safely on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, as well as on lakesfm.com. Dayan, plenty making news today, but first, the big news is the weather as the rain going to subside at least for a little bit this week. Today is going to be a little bit of a day off with a chance maybe of a little bit of precipitation, but Friday and into the weekend, going to be right back to rain.
That is true, Tyler. So for today, the rain is giving us a little break. And we will still have cloudy skies, partly cloudy in the morning until 1 p.m. And then it will continue to be cloudy throughout the afternoon and the evening. High temperatures are expected to reach 61 degrees and 45 degrees is our low temperatures for today. As we move into Friday, 56 is our highs and 47 is our lows. Cloudy. It's going to be cloudy most of the day with chances of rain expected to begin around 10 p.m. in the evening time. It will continue. Rainy conditions will continue on to Saturday, giving us a mostly rainy day on Saturday. Showers even are more expected in the late afternoon at around 4 p.m. Temperatures are going to drop down low into 50 highs on Saturday and 50 highs on Saturday and 45 in the low temperature on Saturday as well, Tyler. Rainy, and it's going to get chillier for the weekend.
Yeah, the good news is that Friday night, you may be able to get outside for a little bit on a cooler Friday evening in Greater West Bloomfield without getting out into the rain. But later on Friday and into Saturday, much of that day going to be when that rain arrives in our community. Stay with us throughout the rest of the week for your latest forecast as we head into the weekend. Plenty making news around the Greater West Bloomfield community. Yesterday, West Bloomfield Parks and Bloomfield Hills Schools officially began their partnership on Pine Lake Park, dedicating the new park on the east side of our township. We'll review that dedication and talk a little bit more about the park with Kelly Hyer from West Bloomfield Parks in just a little bit. Also, Oakland County Commissioner earlier on this week had proposed and ultimately passed a resolution in committee urging the West Bloomfield School District to reconsider their decision to demolish Roosevelt School. We have a response from the school district we'll get to, and of course we'll review exactly what was in that proposed resolution that will be heading to the Oakland County Board of Commissioners next week. Down south, a West Bloomfield woman has won big at a Houston quilting show. We'll tell you about what she won, as well as show you the winning quilt in just a little bit. Friday night, the biggest football game in town is right here in West Bloomfield. The Lakers taking on Southfield A&T. I'll preview that game in just a little bit and tell you why it is the number one game in the MHSAA on Friday evening. Later on this month, the West Bloomfield High School alums business will be partnering with the high school's DECA program to hold a special event raising funds for the name, image, and likeness funding of some of our favorite local athletes playing great at the next level in the college game. We'll tell you about that event, how you can participate, as well as how your kids in the DECA program at West Bloomfield High School can also participate and learn some skills as well. West Bloomfield High School students earlier on this week were inducted into the National Honor Society. We'll take a look at that ceremony, plus how you can learn more about Bloomfield Hills Schools' new middle schools, both on the north and the south side of that school district. We'll tell you when those open houses at South Hills and North Hills middle schools are happening, both this weekend and a few weeks out. Additionally, West Bloomfield Parks has unveiled its new October Green Dream conservation tip, how it could help you not only protect the environment, but protect yourself from some spam mail that you get each and every week. Plus, experience the stunning partial annual solar eclipse on Saturday this week with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library and throughout our local area. Dayan Chaaban will have details on how you can experience this once-a-year opportunity in the skies in our local community. That's all coming up and more. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media. Up next on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Watch West Bloomfield Lakers football all season long on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Kieft and Matt Catoni. Live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, and after the big game. It's your local high school football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield Laker football, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. Your stories from your hometown on your community media, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. We had a great time yesterday with West Bloomfield Parks and their friends at the Bloomfield Hills School District, ushering in a new era in our local park system as Pine Lake Park's official dedication happened on Wednesday in our community, turning what was once the location of Pine Lake Elementary School and the Bloomfield Hills School District into the Greater West Bloomfield community's newest park, finally bringing some park space, some extra green space and activity areas to the eastern side of our community. That was what was at the crux of the discussion yesterday at the dedication, was providing some more amenities and park space on this side of the community. Had a great turnout for people within the township, residents, even those some curious residents already there using that space as a park on that day, wondering what was going on, what all the hubbubaloo was about at this event, and then learning that they're actually going to make this an official park and add on to it. Here you're seeing on your screen a visual of the concept plan for Pine Lake Park. That is also available on wbparks.org, that QR code at the bottom of that graphic that was on display yesterday. You can scan that by pausing our video on civiccentertv.com, on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, and on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. You scan that, you can get even more details. It will take you to their Pine Lake Park page. Additionally, you can go to wbparks.org, scroll over Parks and Facilities, and click on Pine Lake Park. The official partnership began at the beginning of this month between West Bloomfield Parks and Bloomfield Hills Schools. Shortly after that, West Bloomfield Parks started to stamp their mark on that territory, putting up a sign at the front of the facility officially naming it Pine Lake Park at its entrance, and also posting plans for the future. So currently what is there is a lot of green space, some very outdated play structures that will ultimately, beginning this year, be torn out and eventually replaced down the line, as they're not currently up to code. Same goes for the tennis courts. They're going to be renovated, and those are going to start to be upgraded, as will the parking space at the old Pine Lake Elementary School site, which is the same parking space, the same same parking lot that has been there since back when the school had been closed over a decade ago. So that's all going to be upgraded. But all in all, this 21-acre plot going to be turned into a great activity space. New playgrounds. The baseball and softball diamond will be updated. They're going to add on some of the old soccer fields off to the side of the baseball fields and turn that into more meadowland with extra trail space and so on. Same will go the old basketball court location, likely going to continue to be a basketball court. They have on their plans, they say that's where the pickleball is going to go, but they have talked with neighbors with people in the neighborhood right behind that who would prefer that to remain basketball because of the noise of pickleball. So what is the crux of this story at this time is this space still very flexible. Nothing really has been moved forward on this space other than branding and some initial signage being added to Pine Lake Park. And that's where you come in. They want to have your input on this also. And it's important, Dayan, for the community to provide their input. They can stay tuned on wbparks.org as well as on the West Bloomfield Parks social media. They do plan on holding input sessions from the community very soon to get started on this process. What is the community looking for in this new park? What sort of amenities would they like there? What sort of concerns do they maybe have about having these facilities on these grounds, and how can all that be balanced to create a great park experience over the next several years? They're expecting by about 2025 or so that they'll have this park fully developed, and it will be how it's going to be as they enter currently what has begun as a 20-year lease between the Parks Department in West Bloomfield and the Bloomfield Hills School District.
That is true, Tyler. It is very, very essential that people in our community put their input and talk to the West Bloomfield Parks about what do they want, what do they want to experience at this particular park. Whether it's the fields, whether they also talk to their neighboring, as you mentioned earlier, whether it's pickleball or not. What do they expect? More hiking trails? Do they want it to be more child friendly? Do they want more activities, more events in that park? And this is a great way. This is a great initiative by the West Bloomfield Parks, always including community members in their decisions and in their long-term planning for this particular park. As you said, Tyler, it's going to be a long-term lease. It's a 20-year lease, and they are looking for the best way possible to use this beautiful piece of land and making sure that all our community members are included, all our community members are enjoying it, and they are actually doing what's best for this park and our community members.
Yeah, going to be a lot of great stuff coming into Pine Lake Park. You can provide your input to WB Parks by getting in contact with them at wbparks.org. And again, if you go to wbparks.org, scroll over their Parks and Facilities tab and click on Pine Lake Park, you can learn even more information, learn about what amenities they're planning to have on this site, and keep up to date on when they're going to have those community input sessions going forward. They're looking to improve that park space over the next 5 years. So it's going to be a slow development, mostly because of cost purposes, trying to be fiscally responsible as they're improving this park. But over the next 5 years, you'll see the old Pine Lake School site transition and be upgraded into a full-fledged park on the eastern side of our community. That location, 3333 West Long Lake Road in West Bloomfield Township. That's between Long Lake Road and Middle Belt Road. So it's just east of Long Lake at the old Pine Lake School location, and just west of Long Lake, just a little ways before Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield Township. wbparks.org for even more information. Now, in the meantime, we'll take a quick break. On the other side, I had a chance to talk to Kelly Hyer, the executive director of West Bloomfield Parks, to kind of get a broader story about how this development came together and what they're looking for out of Pine Lake Park, plus how much they're looking for from the community in terms of their planning going forward and how they execute turning this space into a full-fledged park like we expect from the quality we always get from West Bloomfield Parks. We'll have that and more, plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media up next on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Take a break and tune in to The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Join Tyler Kieft and Dayan Chaaban as they go through headlines, events, and update you on the day-to-day in Oakland County. Catch us live Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Watch us on demand at civiccentertv.com. Or watch us on TV at Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T at Channel 99. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. Your stories from your hometown on your community media each and every day. 5 days a week, more information on civiccentertv.com. I'm here at the new Pine Lake Park alongside West Bloomfield Parks Executive Director Kelly Hyer. The dedication for Pine Lake Park has happened now. The partnership between Bloomfield Hills Schools and West Bloomfield Parks is underway. But when did this process begin? Because a park on the eastern side of our community has been something that's been a need for a while, and I can't think of a better place than right here in Pine Lake.
Oh, thanks, Tyler. We think so too. This started last summer. And we have had discussions ever since they took down the elementary school, but it really started last summer, and we went to Pat Watson, superintendent at the time for Bloomfield Hills Schools, and we said to Pat, hey, we're really ready to have this conversation and to make this happen. What's it going to take? And then we hired a consultant that we're familiar with that does all of our master planning, and she came up with the concept design, and then we went to the school board and said, this is what we're thinking, what are your concerns, and what's your vision? And really, every school board member was engaged, excited, and gave us feedback, and we put the agreements together last winter, and then it was just a matter of executing and picking the right time. We also wanted to go through the planning commission process for West Bloomfield Township, making sure we're following all our the regulations and doing the right things. And so truly we went to the planning commission, and here we are today.
And what's great about this location is there are amenities already in place, like the tennis courts and the baseball diamond, fields that are already ready to go for sports and other activities, but there's also plenty of open space that makes this so adaptable. So given that that's the case, what are some of the visions of some things we may see down the line at this park?
Sure. So next year the public can expect some attention to the parking lot, because that has deteriorated a little bit over the years. So we want to make sure we bring that back. And also we will put a seasonal bathroom here. We will be pulling out the playground equipment, though. It doesn't meet code right now. And so that has really become maybe our first priority. So looking at what playground equipment should be back in here. And then next would be taking care of the existing amenities you spoke about. So making sure that the tennis courts get back to code, working with the local baseball club to make sure that the fields is up to everybody's standards. And then also take a look at the walking paths and walking spaces, because that is truly one of our number one requested amenities, is walking trails. We can't have enough. And so we want to take a look at what's existing, what is salvageable, or where do we need to put our monies next. Then the next thing that we heard is the community would like to see the basketball courts still reestablished, and then of course adding pickleball. So we will take a look at everything. Of course, there's costs annually to the upkeep of the park as well as these capital infrastructure items. But we are really excited to do some public engagement, some master planning first with this process. And so ultimately it will take 3 to 5 years to establish the park. But really, we're encourage the public to keep an eye on our website and on the Splash, because we love to give updates on the Splash, and so they can keep up with the requests for feedback, and so the public stays engaged in this park planning process.
More information can be found on Pine Lake Park on wbparks.org, and also by following along on their social media as well, as this process continues to grow. And as you mentioned, community input is going to be a big part of this. What sort of information, what sort of suggestions are you looking for from people out in the community?
Sure. So I think what we heard tonight from the dedication is parents were already asking what kind of playground amenities are being selected, and of course swings, because that's one of the other top things requested. But yeah, we would love to have the community's feedback, what kind of style, what colors, and what their expectation is, and of course for all ages. But those are the things that would happen at the community input sessions, or maybe a survey online. But then also any other trends that we're missing out. And of course, there is the financial limitations, because there's only so much money to go around for this park. But the commission has pledged to put at least $500,000 into this park. And so we'll see where this shakes out in the next couple years. But expect us to be responding in the next 18 months with the initial improvements, and ultimately the next 3 to 5 years for maybe a finished park, and celebrate with a ribbon cutting at that time.
Of course, and it was mentioned in the dedication by one of the members of the school board that this partnership is going to span over the next couple of decades, and when all is said and done, when we get to the end of that lease and hopefully an extension going forward beyond that, what do you hope has been the impact, or at least has been the reputation of Pine Lake Park down the road?
Right, and this is where, for a park professional, you can never have enough green space and spaces for families to gather and make memories. So it's really important for us to take a look back as we're getting 10 years into this agreement, 20 years into this agreement, and realize from our public leaders that they can't go back. That they realize the importance of green space and this park, and they maybe do it in perpetuity, but realize that it's brought back a vibrancy to this area of the community. And then we withhold all the memories here that the parents and the kids were just reminiscing about today at Pine Lake Elementary. So really hoping that we can keep this green space alive for many, many years to come, beyond the 20 years that we've already talked about.
Kelly, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah.
And of course, you can learn more information about Pine Lake Park on the West Bloomfield Parks' website, wbparks.org, and also learn more information, keep up to date on when those community input sessions will be held over the next several years as they take this park from its dedication to its development in the next stages. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media coming up next.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Follow us on Twitter at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Watch West Bloomfield Lakers football all season long on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Kieft and Matt Catoni each week for live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, and after the big game. It's your local high school football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield Laker football, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to the Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. Your stories from your hometown on your community media, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. We thank you for joining us today as you do each and every day. Also on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, as well as on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. And of course, you can always keep up to date with us and all of our original programming on CivicCenterTV.com. Earlier on this week, a pretty big story out of the Lakes area, particularly as it regards to the future of the Roosevelt School site. The 103-year-old building in Keego Harbor has been shuttered by the West Bloomfield School District over the last couple of years due to safety concerns. Students initially moved out of the school and into virtual learning before being relocated to the former Abbott Middle School, where they have been placed for in-person instruction ever since. Recently, the West Bloomfield School District, just a little bit under a month ago, had officially approved 8 different points that were recommended by their strategic visioning committee for the future of the school district. That includes one of those being the demolition of the 103-year-old building in Keego Harbor. That, of course, has many people in Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake concerned about removing an historic building in their community that's been there for well over 100 years, something that they considered to be a central part and landmark of the Keego Harbor community, as well as what the school district may do with that land afterwards and how that might affect the future of the community. That led one Keego Harbor resident, Kristen Nelson, who's also one of the local Oakland County Commissioners for District 10, to put forth a resolution number 2023-3447, urging the West Bloomfield School District to reconsider their plan to demolish the Roosevelt Elementary School building in Keego Harbor. That resolution, which you can find more information on oakgov.com/BOC, had passed on Tuesday morning during their Legislative Affairs and Government Operations Committee meeting by a 5-0 unanimous vote, with four commissioners on that committee not being present. We have reached out to both Commissioner Nelson and the West Bloomfield School District for comment. We have yet to hear back from Commissioner Nelson, but in response to the resolution that will move on to the Oakland County Board of Commissioners next week, Tuesday on October 17th, we did get a response from Dr. Danya Bazzi, the superintendent of the West Bloomfield School District, saying, quote, and Calvin, we can put this up on the screen, "We appreciate the commissioner's passion and commitment to our community. The district has done extensive research focusing on facilities assessment, financial stability, and long-term planning. Our focus must remain on providing students the very best education. This has been a data-driven decision with over a decade of study. It is imperative that we move forward," end quote. That directly from the West Bloomfield School District Superintendent, Dr. Danya Bazzi. Some background on this particular research that's gone into this, that she mentioned. Over a decade of study, she had said, had gone into this decision, and data collection had gone into this decision, according to the school district. That began with formal studies both in 2012, 2020, as well as earlier on this year, per a release from the West Bloomfield School District. And they had said that various consultants have been consistently recommending closing Roosevelt School. And that is part of their plan, is to close Roosevelt School at the current Abbott Middle School location, disperse those students over the remainder of the school district, and then demolish the former Roosevelt School building in Keego Harbor, and then determine what to do with that land going forward. Both of which were mentioned in this resolution by Commissioner Nelson, who, as part of her resolution, had said, quote, "Whereas Roosevelt Elementary School was built in 1920 and was the oldest continuously operating school building in Oakland County until last spring, and whereas closing Roosevelt Elementary School will result in the transferring of over 340 students to surrounding elementary schools in the district," that those were a couple of lines specifically mentioned in her resolution. Again, oakgov.com/BOC. Some residents, in response to the school district mentioning the data they have used to put forth these decisions, have claimed that that data has been tough for them to come by, and the school district continuing to urge that these decisions have been made after long-standing decision-making by their strategic visioning committee with well over 100 years of educational experience among those committee members, and that information can be available to the community on wbsd.org, as well as you can find more information by watching our archived video on civiccentertv.com of some debate and some public comment as well from last month's West Bloomfield School District Board of Education meeting. We'll continue to update you on this story as this continues to go forward, getting comment both from those in the Keego Harbor and Lakes area community in the greater West Bloomfield area, as well as the West Bloomfield School District. And it was mentioned at that school board meeting that while demolition is what they decided on ultimately for that Roosevelt School building, that currently what the next stage was going to be was exploring how that demolition would happen given the materials that school was made with, including some asbestos that would need to be safely removed from the building prior to a full demolition, how that would be executed, how that would be taken care of, the cost that would go behind that, and the logistics. And should the possibility pop up that demolition may not be the best option, they could reconsider that going forward. But there is a coalition also in the Keego Harbor community that is lobbying forward for the school district to reconsider that opinion regardless of those logistics. Again, we'll keep you updated on that. We'll give you the information you need to know from both sides of this debate going forward as the future of Roosevelt School continues to hang in the balance in Keego Harbor. Across the local community, some good news from really across the country as a West Bloomfield woman won big at a Houston quilting show. Deborah Hyde from West Bloomfield, Michigan, won the Handy Quilter Best of Show Award for her quilt at the International Quilting Festival in Houston. The quilt that won is one you're seeing in the middle of your screen there, entitled Monkeys in My Hair. For that quilt, she had won a $12,500 prize. And the quilt is actually based on her granddaughter, Evie. She designed that around her granddaughter, saying that the quilt and the composition of this quilt in particular, quote, matches her personality, end quote, that being the personality of her granddaughter, Evie. Hyde only uses available fabric to make these quilts. She doesn't paint any of the fabric. She doesn't draw on any of the fabric. She just uses the pieces of fabric that she can collect. So that makes this even more impressive and even more extensive, as each little bit of fabric has to have the right color, has to be arranged in the right spot in order to make something so intricate like this that looks exactly the way she wanted to design this. Now, there's also a lot that goes into this beyond just it being her granddaughter, even more family ties, as this quilt was partially woven with fabrics that were handed down to Deborah Hyde from her mother-in-law when she had passed away. So many family connections in this, as well as some Easter eggs as well. Now, the story here, the title of this quilt is Monkeys in My Hair. In this quilt, there are two monkeys that are on that quilt, and you can find them just below and just by Evie's ears. But also hidden are some birds, some dragonflies, butterflies, bees, and even some frogs. So take a good look at this picture on your screen on civiccentertv.com, or research Deborah Hyde's Monkeys in My Hair, and tell us where you can find them. Can you find all those other Easter eggs, those other animals in there? The birds, the dragonflies, bees, butterflies, frogs, and of course those monkeys in Evie's hair. If you can, let us know on our social media on civiccentertv.com, on our Facebook page at civiccentertv15, as well as on Twitter and Instagram at civiccentertv. Big congratulations to Deborah Hyde for this great work of art and the prize she won in Houston. You can find more information on facebook.com by simply searching Deb Hyde Art. Dayan, a really impressive piece. Not any surprises here that she was able to come away with the hardware in Houston.
Definitely not, Tyler. Did you see the details on this quilt? It's just incredible. And it's not just the painting. She is working with fabrics, which makes it a lot harder. But you can tell that there's a lot of passion and emotions in this quilt, Tyler. It's not just her granddaughter. It's also the fabric that has been inherited to her by her mother and her grandparents. So this is amazing. This is truly incredible. You can see all the details, all the ability of this artist, and I'm going to call her an artist because it's just magnificent. This art is truly beautiful. This details, this incredible little details, the wild hair and the little monkeys, Tyler. If people can look a little bit, if can zoom a little bit into this picture, you can see the little monkeys and the little dragonflies in the hair. It's truly exceptional. And knowing that she mentioned that this is like her granddaughter's personality, it makes you wonder how cute and naughty she is. Like this. So truly an exceptional piece of art. Tyler, we must mention that this is not Deborah's first international quilt. This is not the first time she joins an international quilt festival. She did join internationally in Europe, in Luxembourg, last May. So this is truly exceptional. This is an artist, and we should really appreciate all the work that she has been doing. And Tyler, as you said, you can follow her on Facebook to see all this beautiful quilts. This is not the only quilt she showed. There's a lot more, but this is truly an exceptional piece of art.
Yeah, Deb Hyde and her fiber art out of West Bloomfield Township, but really been going on a world tour, having won competitions, as you mentioned, in Luxembourg, this one in Houston, as was reported by the Houston Chronicle, our source on this, coming in as we looked for stories about West Bloomfield today. Saw that pop up that she had won this festival in Houston for Monkeys in My Hair, and doing some great work. Not just Monkeys in My Hair. If you look at her Facebook page by searching again Deb Hyde fiber art, you'll see even more of the detail from Monkeys in My Hair. There's a really great picture on there that shows a close-up of the quilt and the detail that goes in square by square of fabric to make that look the way it looks on your screen and what you saw today. It's a lot of detail, and again, she's using only found fabric. She doesn't modify it, doesn't paint it, doesn't draw on it. That according to the article from the Houston Chronicle. So that even more of a creative endeavor, and no surprise, she brought home the hardware at the top with one of the top prizes at the International Quilting Show in Houston, winning again $12,500 grand prize as the Handy Quilter Best of Show at that particular show. West Bloomfield Lakers on Friday night looking to bring home some of the hardware of their own with a state championship, and that would be much aided with a win on Friday against the Southfield A&T Warriors team, coming into Friday night 7-0 overall and having outscored their last three opponents by 111-13. This is a team that is absolutely on fire, and this is a game that's going to have all eyes out of the MHSAA Division I on Friday night. Southfield A&T ranked number 3 in the state by the D Zone. West Bloomfield ranked number 17 as they come into their penultimate week of the regular season, and it's senior night at West Bloomfield High School as well. Just 3 home games this regular season for the West Bloomfield Lakers. This is the final one of those, and arguably the most important game of the regular season for the West Bloomfield Lakers, because if they're able to defeat this undefeated 7-0 Southfield A&T team, they're going to get a whole lot of playoff points, because Southfield A&T's beaten some of the best teams in the state. They've won against Cass Tech, who West Bloomfield lost to in the first round of last year's playoffs. They beat Clarkston, who West Bloomfield had lost to just a couple of weeks ago. They beat Birmingham Groves, who West Bloomfield saw earlier on in the season, but it's still having a winning season in their own right, 4-1 in their conference and 5-2 overall. So they'll collect even more playoff points out of that victory should they defeat Southfield A&T, plus Harper Woods also having a very good season this year, and so at 4-3 overall and 3-2 in their division. So if West Bloomfield's able to beat Southfield A&T on Friday night, that doesn't guarantee them a great playoff spot. They still got to take care of business next week against Oak Park and ultimately finish the season strong. But they're going to collect a whole lot of playoff points, and those playoff points under this current system for seeding in the MHSAA, if we learned anything from a year ago, it's that every little bit of those playoff points counts, and it could be the difference between having a really favorable first round matchup or ending up against a really good team and having that first game be a toss-up. Plus, it also determines how many home games West Bloomfield may or may not have in the playoffs. So if nothing else, come out on Friday night to West Bloomfield High School for that 7 o'clock kickoff to watch all of this D1 talent that's going to be out on the field for West Bloomfield. Brandon Davis Swain, a Division I talent, heading to the University of Colorado. Jameer Benjamin, D1 talent, going to be going to UCLA next fall. Bryce Rowe on the defensive side is on his way to Central Michigan. And for Southfield A&T, they got the best quarterback in this class, according to many critics, in Isaiah Marshall, who's heading to Kansas, has over 30 Division I offers. Coming into the season, was a 4-year starter at Southfield A&T. He's so good, he got his first offer for college football while he was still in middle school, and he's going to be at West Bloomfield High School leading the Southfield A&T Warriors coming into Friday night. Also, Division I talent on their team, Tashi Braceful, going to Talia, one of their wide receivers. They got another receiver in Juwan Jarrett, who's heading to Marshall, and a third receiver on top of that, Wendell Smith, heading to Eastern Michigan, plus Jalen Todd, one of their defensive backs, also going to Kansas. So a ton of talent on Friday night, the biggest game in the state, and it's at West Bloomfield High School, but it's also being broadcast live right here on Civic Center TV and on 89.3 Lakes FM. The only place you're going to see this game broadcast live is on Civic Center TV. It is the biggest game of the week, arguably the biggest game of the regular season in the OAA and in Division I. 7 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage will begin at 6 o'clock with This Week in Laker Football on Friday night. Do not miss it. CivicCenterTV.com/Laker Sports. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, how you can support athletes from West Bloomfield at the next level while supporting an alum's local business and some of our business students at West Bloomfield High School. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media up next on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on CivicCenterTV.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at CivicCenterTV.com and click Schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. We thank you for joining us each and every day for your stories from your hometown on your community media, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Biggest game in town is happening on Friday night at West Bloomfield High School, but the next biggest game all around is the Michigan versus Michigan State football game happening in just a few weeks at Spartan Stadium in East Lansing. The Michigan State Spartans not having the greatest season, and the University of Michigan looking like a potential national championship contender. And all those schools, both including some of our favorite local athletes from recent years, graduates of West Bloomfield High School, and a local event will not only provide a watch party, but also support these students with their name, image, and likeness business at the next level. And it's all been organized by West Bloomfield High School football alum Nick O'Shea and his company, Extra Point Solutions, who's now partnering with West Bloomfield High School DECA to throw what's called the House Divided event. This will be happening on the day of the game at West Bloomfield Middle School, October 21st, beginning at 3 o'clock with a cheer camp. 5 o'clock, the doors open for the event. And then, of course, the 7:30 kickoff, the night game under the lights at Spartan Stadium. You'll be able to watch at the beautiful West Bloomfield Middle School with members of your community. Tickets are already on sale at extrapointsolutions.com. That's Extra Point without the E at the beginning. XTRA pointsolutions.com/events. $30 for a single ticket gets you a ticket, t-shirt, and food options, or you can get 4 tickets in a family pack for $100. That gets you 4 tickets, 4 t-shirts, and food options at the event. And also a chance for your kids at West Bloomfield High School to participate in the planning and marketing of this event as well. Nick O'Shea, a DECA alum in his own right, partnering with Julie Zala, the DECA advisor at West Bloomfield High School, and her students for firsthand marketing, sports marketing, communications, hospitality, and finance experience, all available in the planning and execution of this event. It's ongoing and it's continuing up and through this event, happening in just 9 days, a week from Saturday, the biggest game in the state of Michigan, the biggest game of the year in the state of Michigan, Michigan versus Michigan State, and this House Divided party happening at West Bloomfield Middle School, and a watch event happening there. You can get your kids involved by contacting Julie Zala at julie.zala@wbsd.org. That's julie.zalla at wbsd.org to learn more information on how your students can get involved in this event with Nick O'Shea and the team at Extra Point Solutions, as they're planning what, Dayan, is going to be a great event to celebrate some of our favorite local athletes, in particular Trey Mosley from Michigan State University, wide receiver, Peyton Harvey, a cheerleader at the University of Michigan, and Samaj Morgan, a wide receiver at the University of Michigan, all of whom will be playing big roles on that Saturday night in East Lansing.
Indeed, it is a definitely great event, especially for football lovers and for us to see how these young students who were once playing in our West Bloomfield High School, how did they evolve, how successful they have become. And it's also a great initiative by Nick O'Shea. We must mention that his partnership with DECA is offering these students a first-hand experience on what it's like to be a part of marketing, what it's like to be in a career such as marketing, such as sports management, such as public relations. So this is a great way also for students that are interested in these career fields to join and to enjoy as well the football game that's happening. It's a big, big football game, as you said, Tyler. Some MSU alums and U of M alums that were right here in West Bloomfield. We're going to watch them play, enjoy this, and involve our students in some interesting hands-on experience for their future.
Yeah, and what's great too is this event is supporting the NIL business of these 3 students. So at the college level, it used to be that college athletes were entirely amateur athletes that could not make money off of autographs or off of special events or branding for their name, image, and likeness, despite it being used in video games and marketing and sales of uniforms and other merchandise by these schools. But in recent years, those rules have been relaxed because of decisions at the court level across the United States. And so now these athletes can build a business off of their notoriety in these institutions. And that's certainly the case for football athletes, but even for those in sports such as cheerleading, in the case of Peyton Harvey, able to make some money and build a business while they're in school. And so you're not only supporting our local DECA students by participating in this event or enjoying this event and helping them learn before they go on to the next level in college or in the business community, but you're also supporting some of our local alums at the next level doing great things. And there are also people in particular in Trey and Samaj Morgan that are both really big community people, get involved in East Lansing, they get involved in Ann Arbor. They've continued to be very involved in the West Bloomfield community even after their graduation. So supporting our local athletes, having a great time, a great place to watch a football game and enjoy the festivities of the Michigan versus Michigan State rivalry in a friendly way at West Bloomfield Middle School on October 21st. Another way you can support our DECA students is through their ongoing popcorn fundraiser. It's an optional DECA student fundraiser for students that have decided to participate, where they're going to be learning a little bit more about sales from the front end to the back end of those sales all the way through. This sales project will feature students selling popcorn to reduce travel expenses for the DECA State Conference in Detroit in March of 2024, as well as for travel expenses to the International DECA Conference, which will be happening in Anaheim, California in April. That sale is currently ongoing now through the end of November. November 27th, the last day you'll be able to purchase this popcorn, and you can participate right now and support these students in their efforts. There's a QR code on your screen on civiccentertv.com on the right side of that page you're seeing. If you pause our video on civiccentertv.com, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and you scan that QR code, you can purchase your tasty popcorn right now and support DECA business students at West Bloomfield High School. In addition, students that are selling this popcorn are eligible to win cash prizes, free popcorn, and even more. Again, follow the QR code or visit the West Bloomfield School District's Facebook page for more information, facebook.com/West Bloomfield Schools. In addition to celebrating our DECA students, some of our best academics at West Bloomfield High School were celebrated earlier on this week as they were inducted officially into the National Honor Society, a special ceremony at West Bloomfield High School happening over the past couple of days, featuring Principal Eric Pace, as well as Superintendent Dr. Danya Bazzi, and plenty of our students at West Bloomfield High School being celebrated for their academic leadership and their academic excellence as they go into the National Honor Society. A great honor for them and a great showing for students on their way up, that if they stick to their academics, they make that a priority and they work really hard, they're going to get recognized for that. And Diane, this is a great resume builder too for them, especially as they're looking toward going to the next level, whether they're looking toward college or toward a skilled trade or getting into the workforce, showing their ability to stick to projects, work hard on them, and achieve great things in the process.
Tyler, first of all, congratulations to all our students who have been recognized for their outstanding achievements and becoming members of the Honor Society. It's just a testament to how hard they are working, and they will continue to work throughout the years. It's great to honor them as well and join them in this Honor Society, to show them that we are grateful for everything they're doing, even though it is for their future. They are going to be the future community leaders, whether it's in our community or in our nation. So this is a great way to honor them, and congratulations to them. Tyler, as you said, I'm sorry, I missed your question, honestly.
I didn't ask the question. It was more of just a statement about them and their ability to stick to something, to work really hard at their academics, and ultimately show on their resumes for that next level, whether they're trying to go to college, into a skilled trade, or straight into the workforce, that they are willing to work hard at something, be disciplined in doing that, and achieve great things in the process. So congratulations to our students at West Bloomfield High School, officially now members of the National Honor Society as well. Across the community in the Bloomfield Hills School District, your chance to take a look at some of their new facilities. We've talked so much and seen so much over the past couple of years at the new West Bloomfield Middle School. Bloomfield Hills Schools recently upgrading its middle school locations, including a brand new one at the former Losser High School site. So they're holding open houses open to the community over the next several weeks, including this weekend, Saturday, October 14th, the first of these at the new South Hills Middle School. That's located at the old facility that used to be Bloomfield Hills Middle School, recently upgraded. A big addition went on to that middle school with plenty more amenities. You have a chance to take a look through the self-guided tours and see their brand new upgrades and improvements in these facilities. The South Hills Middle School open house tour will be on Saturday this week from 12 noon to 2 p.m. and that is located at 4200 Corton Road in Bloomfield Hills. Again, that's the old Bloomfield Hills Middle School site. That's South Hills Middle School. On the other side of the Bloomfield Hills School District, North Hills Middle School, located on the old Lasser High School site. They will have their open house just a few weeks out, Saturday, November 4th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. And again, North Hills Middle School at the old Lasser High School site, 3456 Lasser Road. And to find more information on these self-guided tours at both of the new middle schools happening throughout this fall, head over to the Bloomfield Hills School District's website at bloomfield.org. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, some conservation tips from West Bloomfield Parks, plus how you can explore the great outdoors and the annual solar eclipse with some partners right here in the greater West Bloomfield community. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media up next on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Take a break and tune in to the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Join Tyler Kieft and Dayan Chaaban as they go through headlines, events, and update you on the day-to-day in Oakland County. Catch us live Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Watch us on demand at civiccentertv.com. Or watch us on TV at Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T at Channel 99.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. And social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. Your stories from your hometown on your community media, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Also inviting you to join us all throughout the week for even more updates and to find our full shows and every single segment and special programming on demand on civiccentertv.com. Our friends just next door to us at West Bloomfield Parks are very keen to give the community important updates on how they can preserve our local environment and help our local ecology through conservation through their Green Dream initiative. Every single month, they give a different tip on how you can further conservation in our community. And for the month of October, their Green Dream is you opting out of those credit card offers and other junk mail that's coming into your mailbox all throughout the week, every week. That leads to several different parcels being thrown out every single day into the trash and not making their way into recycle bins, or waste of materials just to send those to you, waste of resources to transport that mail into your mailbox. You can opt out of that spam mail in celebration of Junk Mail Awareness Month, which is apparently something that is in fact a thing, by calling 1-888-5-OPT-OUT. 1-888-5-OPT-OUT will opt you out of a lot of this spam mail. It's estimated that the average West Bloomfield household, according to West Bloomfield Parks, receives over 500 parcels of junk mail every single year. And Dayan, as they said, something very scary during this Halloween month.
That is true, Tyler. It is very spooky that we receive this much mail. And honestly, Tyler, this is a great initiative, a great tip, and a great information, because honestly, I did not know that we could opt out, especially of these credit marketing, credit card promotions, because honestly, first of all, we don't need any more credit cards. I'm talking about me personally. And then we don't need this much junk mail and marketing mail. We must say, Tyler, that a research by the EPA has mentioned that there are over 4 million tons of junk mail produced each year in the United States. and a lot of them are just thrown in. They'll most likely end up in the garbage can without even being read. They will end up in landfills. They will cause deforestation. It's very detrimental to our environment. So it's not just, this is truly a great tip, because it's not just what we think. It's just we're just stripping this paper and throwing it out. There's millions and tons of it. So a great tip by the West Bloomfield Parks. Thank you so much for this incredible tip. And thank you for allowing us to stop all this junk mail. Tyler, there's also people, if you want to explore more options on how to stop this junk mail and marketing email, they can also visit the EPA. There is a lot of resources on there, and I'm sure there's a lot of resources as well on the West Bloomfield Parks.
Yeah, I gotta start doing this, Dayan, because what I've been doing, just because I'm generally just a pest of a human being, is I take that mail, I bring it into my home, I write on the outside of the parcel, return to sender, and I send it back to them. I send them their own spam mail, and of course that's a giant waste of resources. I gotta stop doing that, and that starts today with this green dream. I'm gonna be calling that number later on and start opting out of this mail instead of fighting a battle that nobody wins in the end with these junk mail senders who will just send it to you anyway because they don't care. They just want to get this out of their factory and into your mailbox because that's what they do. You can't fight a pest by being a bigger pest. Just call that number. Again, that information can be found on the West Bloomfield Parks Facebook page, and even more Green Dream tips on wbparks.org. Plenty more of your stories from your hometown on your community media all week long. Stay with us Monday through Friday every single week for plenty of more episodes of The Splash Live. Our program continues very soon.